to have you with us. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. A factor in every game, Steve Nash will be on display.
Well, of course, anytime you talk about Nash, his outstanding court vision and creative passing is the first thing that comes to mind. But, of course, he's also one of the best shooters the game has ever seen.
Steve, you mentioned the creativity he brings. Despite the flair, he's really quite fundamentally sound. He's excellent with his decision-making and understanding of how to create scoring opportunities for him and his team.
The Celtics are looking to grab one here for the home fans in Boston before heading out on the road. Jeff Green still injured. They're counting the days until he returns.
I hear you, Kevin, but really it's an issue for both teams in regards to the injury situation. So it's a matter of which team can rise up and show the fortitude necessary to play through the injuries and still come out on top.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of sympathy these teams have for each other. I mean, they're going through the same thing at the same time. So injuries a major factor in this game.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Now here's Jackson. Really played well against Phoenix in his last outing. Shot clock at 3. Launches it. It's rebounded by Hendricks. That was the Los Angeles Lakers winning their last game against the Suns in Phoenix.
And you know what was most impressive? What a huge play.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now. It's their defense, that's for sure.
Now here's Jackson, averaging 12 points a game. Back to Nash. Pass to Jackson. Fires for 3. Gets it to go. Jackson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Hendricks passes to Bradley. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Well, it was the Boston Celtics, their last game, a loss to the Raptors.
Well, they probably should have abandoned the three-point shot in that game because their percentage was terrible. You know, but they kept firing away from long range.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I thought that was one of the things that doomed it. I mean, you can't stick with something if it's not working for you.
Now Crawford. After Jackson's three-pointer that didn't go. Pass to Hendricks. Working on Gasol. Hendricks passes to Humphries. Brooks. Nice ball movement by Boston. It's Crawford with the drive. Brooks kicks to Bradley. From deep. The Lakers with the rebound. Clark, this is the first they're seeing of Boston.
Yeah, and you look back to last year, these two teams were very evenly matched. They split the 2 games that they played.
Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke. Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
Hill, a screen on Crawford. Jackson with it. Now guarded by Humphries. Jackson kicks to Kobe. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Going back for a second, your comment, Steve, and the standoff these teams played to last year, it may have been an indicator. Oh! Powerhouse right there. Great. It's not possible what we just thought. Is that possible?
It's probable, but it is possible, partner.
It's possible. Not probable. It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark.
Shot's good. Kobe's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
You know, one of the things with Kobe, he said he's gotten a lot more blunt and honest with his remarks. You see it on Twitter, you see it in his post-game interviews. I mean, he is not shy when it comes to really critiquing other teams and players in this league. And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one.
As you said with Kobe, he seems more comfortable saying what's ever on his mind now, and That's gotten him in some questionable situations, Clark, with his teammates.
Well, it is a gray area when you talk about actually there's a pretty strict policy on tweeting or engaging in social media during games. But you do like the fact that Kobe is stretching out a little bit in that regard. You don't always agree with what he says, but I think he backs up a lot of his opinions.
He knows the game.
Yes, he does.
The guy is as smart as they come on the floor.
No question.
Well, the shooting guard position is where teams look for a lot of their points. And these players, the highest scoring among them, haven't disappointed. Kobe Bryant, fourth.
Well, night after night, we see this group punish opposing defenses. If you pick one way to deal with them, they'll just find another way to beat you.
Well, when you look at those numbers, you can tell that among the NBA's perimeter players, Steve, they're as explosive as it gets. It takes a lot of energy expended to defend any of it.
Gets it to go.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Crawford against Nash. Kobe gets a screen from Gasol. Kobe with it. He also had a big impact in that win against the Suns. Jackson dishes to Kobe. Lets the three fly. Crawford with the rebound. Celtics leading by 5. And there's the pass to Hendricks. Bradley. There's the feed to Crawford. Passes to Hendricks. An easy 2 points on the way. Chinese got out.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yeah, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Over the last 10 games, Kevin, you can see where the Lakers rank in the league right now. Second in assists, second in fewest turnovers per game. And they also show up as a team in the top 5 in scoring. Boy, this team is balanced and versatile offensively.
Yeah, and Clark, let's go back to the assists for a second. I mean, this is what makes this team good, I think, right now. They're sharing the ball. They're getting great ball movement and spacing. And they've become so efficient offensively that they've become a nightmare to guard.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Steve Blake is out there with Jody Meeks. Then there's Nick Young. Then there's Robert Sacre. And it's Gasol at the power forward.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Tiny in their last game against the Raptors did some really solid work on the floor. He dropped 14 points and pulled down an enormous 8 rebounds. A performance like this is what we've come to expect during this great run of his. Will we get another one tonight, guys?
All right, Doris. Well, what do you guys think? Does that kind of big performance energize a player in his next game, or has it, like Steve, you began taking a toll physically?
I think it just depends on the individual, Kevin. Probably depends on how he's feeling physically overall. But usually a guy who has a big night like that, it's going to carry over just the confidence and carry to the next game.
Yeah, I would not disagree with you on there, Steve. There's something about confidence in this game that really fuels you and energizes you. When you perform well, then you feel like you can do it again and again and again.
Bradley kicks to Green. Olynyk, he's guarded by Hill. And here's Green outside, and that one's good. Green's got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, I'm not necessarily a big fan of him shooting that shot, but they did give him the space.
Kobe a screen on Bradley. Now Blake. His last outing, he had 8 points. Here's Jackson. They grab their own miss. Hill kicks to Blake. Dishes it to Kobe. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Second shot opportunity. Gasol. Good. The assist goes to Hill.
You don't need much range to hit from that distance, Kevin.
Celtics leading by 13. Outside Bradley. Kicks to Brooks. Back to Bradley. Green. Feeds it to Olynyk. He passes to Hendricks. Gasol with the steal. And here's Kobe. Right now averaging 21 points a game. Outside Hill. Outside Jackson. Lets it go with the 3. That one goes. Covered. Jackson's got 6.
They're absolutely stroking it from outside. I mean, textbook perfect. Good balance, nice high release, splash.
Pass to Hendricks. He dishes it to Lee. He kicks it to Bradley. He feeds it to Brooks. 6 on the shot clock. The Celtics need to get a shot off. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. 11 points for Tiny.
You got to like his shot selection today. He set a good example for the rest of his teammates.
Gasol setting the pick for Nash. Hill up top. Inside to Gasol. The kick out to Hill. Nash outside. Steven Jackson on the wing. The Lakers rebound. Gasol passes to Kobe. Floats one. Shot denied. Brooks dishes to Bradley. Lee outside. The pass to Hendricks. Knocked loose. Kobe gets a screen from Gasol. Kobe goes in. Good. Kobe's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
You know, something else I think about when I see this guy is he's a real headache to have to defend one-on-one. I mean, he's got all of the game that makes it tough for his defender.
Shot clock at 6. Pass to Hendricks. The dish to Lee. Takes the 3. Shot is no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Next game for them, they'll take on the Raptors at Toronto. And they're in the thick of this long road run. That's the 3rd of 7 straight on the road.
You know the fans out in Toronto are really hoping for a win for their Raptors.
Well, guys, Kobe Bryant is now the longest tenured Laker ever. Magic called him the greatest Laker ever. On a team that's had so many terrific players, that is a monumental statement.
Hendricks passes to Brooks. Boston again missing. And here's the Lakers. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Pulls it from the elbow. Kobe can't get that one to fall. And for Kobe, he said at this point, he'll never go to another team. It's important for him to retire a Laker. You don't hear that from a lot of guys.
No, Reggie Miller with the Pacers, Larry Bird with the Celtics, but not often. And I think it does add to a player's legacy, and it adds to the history and the legacy of the franchise as well. So I think it's important that Kobe remains in that Laker jersey.
Hill left side. Defended by Hendricks. Hill kicks to Nash. Good. The assist goes to Hill. And now it's only a 5-point Celtic lead.
That mid-range jumper, just another one of his weapons.
Pass to Lee. Here's Tiny. Nash comes with the double team. Back to Lee. On the wing, Brooks. With the lead pass.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
Well, now is the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
There's 57 seconds left to play here in the half. Kobe against Lee. Backing down is Bryant. Shoots from 14, and no good. Trying to use the glass.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Bradley passes to Hendricks. Back to Bradley. Here's Tiny, defended by Gasol.
Well, he won that battle, and in general, they're winning most of the battles tonight.
Well, those are some very easy points if you can get them.
Well, and like Clark said, they have been getting them, not necessarily all on putback dunks, but a lot of second-chance opportunities.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Brandon Bass is checked in for Humphries. Green comes in for Marshawn Brooks. Keith Bogans, he's checked in for Courtney Lee. And Jordan Crawford is subbed in for Avery Bradley. For Los Angeles, they have made 2 of the previous 3 free throws in today's game.
Yeah, they're getting to the line an awful lot in this quarter. It's not an accident. They've been very aggressive.
Yeah, it's been very intentional. I mean, they've picked up.
Now, presented by Sprint. And welcome to halftime, everyone. Great one underway in ball.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for Tiny. He's got 16 points and 2 rejections. What a force he's been in the paint.
Now, he's gotten himself into the air so often to block shots and rebound. He's really controlled that area.
Hendricks in at power forward. Avery Bradley is out there, Jordan Crawford, and it's Marshawn Brooks, and it's Humphries in at the 5 spot. That's the Boston 5. Here's Kobe. Wow. And now it's Bradley running. He can go all the way. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Now here's Gasol, defended by Hendricks. Just 5 to shoot. There's the 3. Chris Humphries comes up with the rebound. Celtics leading by 10. Crawford gets a screen from Hendricks. Out to Brooks, expanding his range. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Gasol's got his 5th rebound in this one. Kobe with it, now guarded by Bradley. Kobe kicks to Nash. The feed to Hill. They get a hand on it. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Brooks has got the ball. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line.
And so Bradley nails both of them. Over a minute and a half into the 3rd quarter of action. Gasol, a screen on Bradley. Kobe dishes to Jackson. Defended by Hendricks. Nash kicks to Jackson. Off target with his 3. Celtics leading by 12. Pass to Hendricks. Dishes to Humphries. Crawford. It's Brooks on the wing. Back to Crawford. Clock at 4. The 3. The offensive rebound. Hendricks back to Brooks. Feeds it to Bradley. Now the pass to Hendricks. Kicks it to Crawford. For the 3. And the shot is good. Crawford's got 11 points.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Outside, Kobe, Nash. He passes it to Hill. Back to Nash. 6 to shoot. Will it go? And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You know, people look at Steve Nash, guys, and I don't know if they automatically think tremendous athlete. But he is. He's a different type of tremendous athlete. He's not going to blind you or amaze you with his running and jumping ability, but it's his agility, his coordination, his balance, the fact that he's ambidextrous, not only with his hands, but with his feet. I mean, he's equally balanced going either way with the ball or on his pivots. And he attributes a lot of that to playing soccer and ice hockey as a youth.
Back to Bradley. He dishes it to Brooks. Outside Bradley. Fires the 3. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got 4 assists now tonight. Lakers trail by 16. And for Nash, his great agility really helps him on the offensive side, certainly. And Change of speed and direction and shifting all over the floor. He can keep defenders off balance. Always has been able to do that.
Yeah, but defensively is where he's suffered here the last couple of seasons, just losing a little bit as he's aged. But, you know, smart player and understands how to survive defensively out on the floor.
Los Angeles has gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. They double team Kobe. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. Kobe's got 8 points. Celtics leading by 14. Passes it to Hendricks. He's against Hill. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Well, now let's check out the rookies shooting the highest percentage over the last 10 games. A very competent group of young men right now. And you look at Tiny, leading the league in field goal percentage. He always gets good looks. Nash, the pass to Kobe. Guarded by Bradley. Outside for Jackson. Connects from three-point range. 12 points for him.
Kobe with the brilliant assist that time.
Crawford dishes to Bradley. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. And the Celtics lead by 14.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
Yeah, and unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively, there's more to come, Clark. Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And you know what? He is also relentless on the boards. He works as hard on his rebounding as anybody you're going to see.
Hendricks passes to Brooks. He was all alone on that one. So it's the Lakers now. It's a 14-point game. Hill sets the screen for Kobe. Guarded by Bradley. Baseline jumper. And again, it's the Lakers.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
Pass to Hendricks. And it's Boston with another. Lakers trail by 14. Now here's Nash, averaging 9 points per contest. It's back to Hill. He feeds it to Jackson. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got his 5th assist in this one.
You got to make a defensive adjustment here because he's just destroying them from three-point range.
Well, even when they've closed out on him, Steve, he's knocking them down.
The pass to Hendricks. Brooks outside. The Celtics working the ball around now. Shot clock at 5. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
Got a moment here to look at some numbers for Steve Nash. 3rd in free throw shooting. He's in the top 10.
Lakers trail by 19. So for the Lakers right now, we've got Johnson. Farmar is out there with Nick Young. Then it's Steven Jackson. And it's Gasol at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Farmar. And off the glass. That one's good. Farmar's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for Los Angeles. Got a piece of it. Here's Tiny, guarded by Jackson. Here's Hendricks. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one on Jackson.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am. Can you believe the job they're doing at the foul line since halftime? I mean, they've been perfect so far.
Yeah, sometimes it's contagious. Everybody starts to get comfortable and relaxed, and everything goes in the hoop.
And Young kicks to Farmar. Back to Young. Launches a 3. It's rebounded by Bass. Bass has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Well, an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
Johnson dishes to Hill. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
Crawford gets a screen from Hendricks. All sorts of time, and it's in after it has bounce off the right side. Tiny's got 4 points this quarter. Lakers trail by 19. It's back to Hill. Young outside. He kicks to Johnson. There's the dish to Young. Basket is good. The assist from Johnson. Johnson's got 5 assists tonight.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Up high to stop the alley-oop.
Boy, the prettiest play in basketball to me. Executed to perfection.
I don't think you're going to get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop.
Well, unless you're the team getting dunked on, of course.
Young passes to Johnson. Young fires the 3. But they get it back. Again, Young missing. Crawford kicks to Lee. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defensive back.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
Johnson outside. Misses off the left eye.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Here's Tiny. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
If they think that kind of defense is going to get it done against him, they're mistaken.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Chris Humphries has checked in for Bass. And it's Avery Bradley in for Courtney Lee. Nash outside. He lobs it up. And the dunk by Kobe. Celtics leading by 21. Hendricks passes to Brooks. And Jackson with the block. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the 4th quarter. Back to Kobe. Clock at 6. Inside to Gasol. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, even though he's getting up there in years, guys, Powell's effectiveness shouldn't really drop off much. He's a long, skilled player who doesn't play off the ground very much, and his versatility should help his longevity.
Clark, you mentioned the versatility of Pau Gasol. Steve, it's really the defining quality of his game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the ability to do so many things offensively as a big guy just really completes a team. Now you can run any kind of offense you want. And Powell, as a passer, as a scorer, as a shooter, has been one of the best in the game for the last decade.
Lakers trail by 19. Outside, Kobe. Bradley drives in. Here's Brooks. And Jackson with the block. Here's Hendricks. Back to Bradley. He passes to Hendricks. Nash comes with the double team. Here's Bradley. It's good from the top of the key. And the Celtics lead by 21.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Crawford against Nash. On the wing, Steven Jackson. Tries from 16, and it's Bradley with the rebound. Bradley's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Boy, they've really dominated on the glass, and of course they've done a lot of good things here tonight, but the rebounds have played a major factor.
Hey, Steve, you know rebounding always one of the key barometers in determining the victor.
Here's Hendricks. There's the block. They retain possession. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. We'll shoot one more at the free throw line. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Celtics?
You know, one of the big stories has been the three ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
The other thing that's been huge for them is their points in the paint. They're getting the ball inside and converting on a regular basis.
It's Brooks on the wing. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
You know, size-wise, this is not a great one-on-one matchup for him, but he got that shot to go.
But you wouldn't know it by how he finished. That's a nice hoop there.
Kobe against Bradley. Nash outside. They need this. Kobe, no good. The Celtics have gone 7 of 11 from the floor in the final quarter so far. Been some solid looks for them. Here's Tiny, defended by Gasol. Pass to Bradley. Shot clock at 6. Here's Tiny. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. Los Angeles has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Now, tough call there on that illegal screen.
He didn't look set to me, Steve. I thought that was a good call.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Hill. Johnson comes in for Steven Jackson. And it's Jody Meeks in for Kobe. Bradley kicks to Green. Boston again missing. Lakers shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late.
Really poor decision on that pass.
1:24 left in the fourth quarter. Bradley kicks to Olynyk. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Blake with it. Now the feed to Meeks. And the Lakers with another miss.
You really don't want to see him missing those mid-range shots, but when he's open, he's got to shoot it.
Bogans dishes to Bradley. The Celtics working the ball around now. The shot's good from Hendricks.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Blake kicks to Meeks. Makes the lead pass. Gasol. And again, unable to change momentum here. Outside Bradley. Leads him in there. Hendricks can't get it to go. Nice D from Blake. 7-second difference. Shot and game clock. On the wing, Johnson. This is to Sacre. Olynyk with the steal. Passes it to Hendricks. Kicks it out to Bradley. An even 3-on-3 break. Johnson, the pass to Gasol. Meeks. From outside, off the mark. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Thank you for joining us for this